Yes? What is it, Helen?
How many G's in codger, sir?
3.
Speak when you're spoken to, Mason.
Oh, I thought you were speaking to me, sir.
I see. He usually addresses you as sir, does he?
Oh, didn't catch that bit.
Get on with your letter and be quiet.
I've got on, sir.
Then let other people get on with theirs. What sort of codger, Hellman?
Silly old codger.
Right, Mason, you may go.
Oh, no, sir. It's the week to write to my sister as well, sir.
Then write to your sister and be quiet. Anything you have to say to your sister. You particularly want to use that word, Hellman? Not that there's anything against it, of course, but it is slang. A rather old-fashioned slang today.
I could use geezer.
Yes, very well. What kind of geezer?
Silly old gizzer.
That's enough from you, Cephalus. I realise that you're not English, and I make due allowance for it. There's no reason why you should imitate silly little English idiots like Mason.
Yes.
Quiet, be quiet.
Yes.
What's the matter with you, Trench?
Please, sir. I can't think of anything to say.
Oh, dear Trench. Surely you can write your own letters home. Tell them what you did last week. Tell them what is going to happen next week, if you want.
Is anything going to happen next week?
Considering that on Tuesday we're to have a lecture on the Ice Age...
With slides?
Be very careful. I've had just about enough of you. And that Saturday is Founder's Day with an address by the Bishop of Sainsbury. And the final form order will be out on Wednesday. I think that even you, Mason, strongly tipped for bottom place, as usual, though you are, could hardly consider the week to be a complete blank. Now get on with your letters, and not another word unless it's absolutely necessary.
Please, sir, how do you spell asinine?
That's the last word that I should have thought would give you any problems, Mason. 2 I's and 2 N's.
Thank you, sir.
No doubt you're familiar with the S part of it.
Oh, yes, sir. I've got him down already.
Take 100 lines, Mason, and stay in after school to write them.
Last week, the Lord Privy Seal announced that an excess profits tax of 100% would apply to controlled undertakings engaged on war production. Today, the Chancellor of the Exchequer told Parliament that the tax...
When you were kind enough to take my English for me the other day with 3A, did you give them any exercises?
No. I may have asked them to write out their favourite poem.
That's always a good time, Spinner.
It was only at the end of a period, till the bell went. I'd give them a good go of Keats earlier. Much have I travelled in the realms of gold.
Have you? I mean, had you? No, it's just that Mason's favourite poem is new to me.
No, we can't all know everything, even you.
Red roses blow but thrice a year, in April, June and May. But those who have red noses can blow them every day. What does that sound like? Coleridge?
Mason's uncle.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, not that it's of the slightest importance or significance. But since you raised the matter, Mason has an uncle with a compulsion to write rubbish and nonsense in the boys' autograph album, which, in Mason's somewhat immature estimation, leaves the Oxford Book of English Verse nowhere. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must prepare some simultaneous quadratics before I take the 11 o'clock milkers.
Sorry.
Not at all.
I shall give Mason's uncle 10 marks. Will you be coming down for Founder's Day?
I've no idea. Why?
I thought you might like to get his autograph. Perhaps the Reverend Bishop of Sainsbury would like one, with a nice limerick.
Lord Bishop, I think, is the correct style.
Not according to the squid.
Really, Gilbert? Look at the time. Well, you're the one who broke the news about the bishop, so I naturally assumed that you knew more about it than I did. Anyway, there are far more important things in life than bishops. 11 o'clock milkers, for one.
Rawlinson's taking them from now on.
Oh, that's neither here nor there. Rawlinson? Taking 11 o'clock milkers?
And I thought you knew. Everything's been changed.
But this isn't to be borne. I shall see the headmaster at once. Immediately.
Sir, please, sir.
Not now, Atkins.
No, sir. Are you going to see the headmaster, sir?
Not just now, Atkins.
Thank you, sir.
Atkins?
Sir?
What's that you're carrying?
Blotting paper, sir.
I can see it's blotting paper, boy. What colour blotting paper is it?
Can't you see, sir?
Is it pink blotting paper?
No, sir.
Is it white blotting paper?
Yes, sir.
And are you allowed to use white blotting paper?
No, sir, but Mr. Rawlinson
Leave
gave...
Mr. Rawlinson out of this, if you please. This is a matter between you and me, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Is that all you can say, yes or no, sir?
No, sir.
Is it not a rule of the school that white blotting paper is for the teaching staff only and pink for the boys?
But before Mr. Rawlinson took 11 o'clock milkers...
Oh, very likely.
He was opening the stationery cupboard, being a Friday, sir.
You can tell me nothing about the designated days for the distribution of stationery. Nothing at all, thank you very much. We'll take that back to Mr. Rawlinson and remind him with my compliments as senior assistant master. You do know that I am a senior assistant master, don't you? With the resulting rights and privileges, which I must say are very rarely recognized, headmaster. There's a time for complacency. There's a time for asserting one's rights, headmaster. And I... Yes, well, take it back to him and tell him. Pink for the boys and white for the men. Run along. No running in the cloisters, boy.
I've been considering what to say to the boys. Thought a few words about the war might be suitable.
It's your speech, Harry. Good of you to make it.
Old time's sake, my dear fellow. Good of you to put me up for a couple of nights.
You'll be in the master's cottage, not luxurious, but...
Yes, boys very interested in the war. Good thing. Something different. I can talk about all the usual things. As well, of course. Always came bottom of the class myself. The race is not to the swift.
Good, yes. He who runs may read.
I never know what that means.
No quest, no conquest.
Ah, I dare say. Oh, and talking of that, I've been reading about these new Swedish pom-poms. Very fine weapon. Naval use only at the moment, but when it comes to slaughter by land on a really useful scale.
Yes?
I really must protest, headmaster. Good morning, my lord. Excuse me, a very pressing matter. For 20 years, after 20 years of looking after the 11 o'clock milkers, I suddenly hear...
Wentworth, just a moment.
And from a third party, which is no...
Mr. Wentworth, Harry, our mathematics master.
Morning, Wentworth. Rich time for you just now.
Oh, yes, indeed, Bishop. Yes. If I'm at fault, then naturally I'm prepared to... Rich? I don't quite follow your grace.
Boy's glad of a change. Keen on the war. Oh, exercises about wallpapering the WC. Gone for good, eh, Wentworth? Bazookas, now. The trajectory of the 25-pounder shell. If a grenade kills 12 men at a range of 30 feet, how many grenades to polish off the entire platoon? Endless possibilities.
We shall have to have you on our staff, Harry, if you ever decide to leave Saintsbury.
I might take you up on that.
Oh, I hardly think, headmaster, that unless the school expands considerably...
Horses are finished, of course, in this war. Pity. Good material there, Wentworth. If 4 horses are pulling a field gun at 3 miles an hour, and each horse casts a shoe every 5 minutes, reducing the speed by, shall we say, 15%.
Oh, horses, certainly, yes. He saith among the trumpets. Ha-ha! 20 years, headmaster, 20 years of taking 11 o'clock milkers, and now suddenly, without warning...
Who saith?
I saith. I mean, has Mr. Rawlinson some qualification that I don't possess? I'm very loath to criticize a colleague, but his behaviour was somewhat eccentric, you know, when he was in charge of stationery.
No, Wentworth.
Who saith among the trumpets?
Job, chapter 39. The glory of his nostrils
I'm
is
afraid
terrible.
I'm at fault here, Wentworth.
Whose nostrils?
I have a class to attend to. I'm sorry.
Excuse us, if you... just a word of shop.
Oh, yes, sir.
Now, Wentworth, I was sending you an explanatory memo. Indeed, I have it here. I was about to sign it when I found his day guest of honor. Looked in.
Ready for duty, sir!
Now, you should find this in no way diminishes your standing as senior assistant master. In fact, the contrary, placing you in charge of the stationery and letting Rawlinson have the 11 o'clock milkers.
Oh, well, in that case, of course, yes, sir. Thank you, headmaster.
Now, if I hadn't rather indiscreetly mentioned this to Matron, who no doubt mentioned it to Rawlinson.
I see, same old trouble. Lack of communication, lines of communication. Get your orders up to the front line. That's where the killing goes on. There's your cold steel.
Well, it's dry now. You didn't see a boy on your way here bringing me some white blotting paper? I particularly asked Rawlinson to send me some, perhaps in your new capacity as stationery chief.
Certainly, headmaster, yes, you shall have some at once.
Try 'em with something on the 3.7 ack.
Oh, I intend
If a Messerschmitt 101 flying at 300 miles an hour is intercepted by a Spitfire flying at 400...
Now then, What can anyone tell me about the property of the symbol pi? Yes, Trench.
Please, sir, it's a funny thing about wheels.
Oh, what a very good answer, Trench. Yes, thank you very much.
No, sir. I mean, I was talking about the wheel you've just drawn.
The circle, Trench.
Aren't wheels circular, sir?
Not when some people draw them.
Who said that? Take 100 lines off of it.
No, sir.
Reduced to 50 for owning
I
up.
wasn't owning up. I've got
Oh,
to...
well, then take the 100 again.
No, I didn't say it, sir.
Be quiet. Now, I know there's no school on Saturday because it's Founder's Day, but until then, we've got a lot to learn. And we shall treat pi in a proper manner.
I've got to go and recite for Mr. Gilbert, sir.
Recite to Mr. Gilbert?
For the concert, sir.
And who on earth does Mr. Gilbert think he is?
A fool, a fool.
What?
I met a fool in a forest, a motley fool, a miserable world that I do live in by food. I met a fool.
Mason, I thought it was Ottaway who was doing the reciting.
Yes, sir, but I know it better than he does. He keeps on rehearsing in the dorm. In the next bed.
I do know it.
You don't?
I do.
Okay, what comes after drew a doll from his poke?
All right, all right, all right. So you know the whole speech, do you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Write it out 6 times.
Oh, no, sir, not 6.
No, not 6. 12, make it 12.
Trying to poke in the dial away.
It's as you like it, sir.
But I don't like it.
Oh, jolly good, sir.
You can go. Go on, get out. And tell Mr. Gilbert with my compliments.
Sir?
Never mind, I'll tell him myself. Don't bang the door! Now perhaps you can have silence. Absolute silence. What's that rubbish coming from the music room?
It's the school song, sir. Burgrove, Burgrove, through the age.
Thank you, I know the school song.
Boy
Listen.
and master, sing your praise.
Thank you.
Turn, ye, turn the crowded page.
Shut up, Anderson. Shut the window, Atkins. You know all the words, do you then, Mason?
Oh, yes, sir. Never forget those happy days.
How many verses?
8, sir.
Write them out 8 times.
Oh, no, sir. I don't know them all.
Now, this circle, or wheel, as you prefer to call it, Trench.
Gosh, my giddy aunt. I've just remembered. I've got Tripot's Miss Clues with the trebles. And Sapulus, haven't we, Sapulus?
Just one moment.
No, sir, we've got to go. Come
Stay
on, Sapulus.
precisely where you are. Is this whole set to be decimated just for the sake of Founder's Day entertainment? Go and sit down, both of you. What's the matter with you, Anderson?
Hopgood and me are wanted for duet practice.
Hopgood and I.
No, sir, not you, sir. Hopgood and me.
The very next person to interrupt this class will be... What do you want, matron?
Really, Mr. Wentworth? I want 4 of my soldiers, if you'd be so kind. Etheridge, Atkins, Hillman, and Briggs.
No.
Oh, yes, that's arranged, Mr. Wentworth. Hurry, boys, hurry. That's arranged with the headmaster, Mr. Wentworth. Come on, boys, hurry.
Eliminate the brackets, boy. Eliminate! Oh, dear. Hopgood 2. 3 out of 20.
Excuse me, please.
Excuse me, sir. What boy is that?
Excuse me. It's me.
Who's me? Mason.
Coombs.
Coombs? There's no Coombs in 3A.
Miss Coombs.
Oh, Miss Coombs. Oh. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Your voice has the spiritual quality of a boy's. Do come in.
Thank you. I know I really shouldn't be here.
Nor should I. It's algebra at 2 o'clock.
I tried to catch your eye at lunch just now, but you hastened away. So I made bold to pursue you hither.
Well, hither I am. May I take your portmanteau?
A violoncelle.
Pardon?
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Many people call it the violin cello, but that is erroneous.
Yes, of course. It's just that we lost so much time yesterday, you see, with boys being taken away for rehearsals, and so we're hoping that to wake up a little time this afternoon. Do sit down.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Really? Oh dear.
I can never sit. Oh, excuse me. Rather an excess of sherry in the trifle. No, I just can't sit.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's the pressure, you know.
No, I didn't know, no. You seen Matron?
Oh, yes. Twice this morning.
And she was able to help.
Greatly.
Good.
She's giving me a tableau.
A tablet? Oh, well, let's hope it works.
Tableau. She's doing an impression of the death of Sir John Moore.
Oh, she should do that very well. What for?
Why, for tomorrow, Mr. Wentworth, for the entertainment, for founders, for the concert. I can't do everything, so she's doing that. But I have to keep taking her soldiers away for vocal and instrumental purposes. So you aren't the only one to be deprived, Mr. Wentworth. I do beg you to believe. And Sir John Moore is Betterton.
Betterton who?
Well, Betterton too. Lower Fourth. By no means word perfect with his half a league after the piano duets in part 2. Oh, excuse me. People seem to think that my little corner of music and drama here at Burgrove is above the struggle, Mr. Wentworth, but it by no means is. And year after year, when the entertainment comes round, the difficulties of getting the boys for rehearsals. And, oh, Mr. Wentworth, this is the last possible afternoon to polish up my 4 jolly sailormen for the finale. And 2 of them are yours, Mr. Wentworth.
Mine?
Yes, in your algebra set. Well, I've simply screwed up my courage to come and ask you if in the circumstances you could most kindly make an exception.
But there. Come, Miss Coombs. Here. No weeping, please. Here, dry your eyes.
Thank you.
There we are. And I'm sure that under the circumstances we can make an exception. 2 exceptions, in fact.
Mr. Wentworth, you have made me so happy.
Oh, I say. Oh, I had no idea. Congratulations in order. Well done.
Rawlinson! You happen to know an acquaintance of mine in Sainsbury? Canon Slingford?
Never heard of him. No, old Tommy Slingford, of course, ex-London Scottish. Killed no ends of Huns in the last lot. Loved it.
Interesting. Well, here we are.
Ah, my quarter's good.
Yes, you may find them a little Spartan, I'm afraid.
I'm used to roughing it.
Oh, not at the palace, surely.
Palace? Don't follow.
The Bishop's palace.
What are you talking about, Wentworth? What's the matter with you? Got some sort of ecclesiastical fixation or something?
No.
I'm just a retired gunner, damn it. Joined this lot a couple of years back for want of something better to do.
I thought you were the Bishop of Sainsbury. I mean, that's a
Harry Bishop at school with your CO. Living at Sainsbury, waiting for a parish, hoping for Aldershot. At least hear some blanks banging off there. Well, thanks for the escort. Wentworth, you can fall out now. See you in the mess.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Brigadier. Oh, sorry, Ron, it's wrong room.
Oh, right, Rum, AJ. Just having a bottle of your cherry blossom, if that's all right.
Oh, yes. Yeah. What an embarrassing situation.
You all right, AJ?
Yes, perfectly.
Yes, come as a bit of a shock, these things, you know. I had an uncle in Hastings. Never looked at a woman till he was 60, and they went all to pieces over a hospital almoner. Oh, well, they're good enough for ruddy founders. I suppose you'll be helping with the music now?
What music?
Miss Coombs' music, now that you two have got together.
Rawlinson.
And then she can help you with the stationery cupboard.
Rawlinson.
Top shelf at the back, by the way. That's where her...
Will you please stop?
Kept.
I'm not entirely without a sense of humour, as many a master and boy will vouch for over the years. But if you're thinking of starting some ridiculous rumour that there's anything at all between Miss Coombs and myself...
Well, there was very little between you in the common room this afternoon.
I warn you. If you breathe a word to Gilbert, who has an uncanny capacity for twisting the most simple facts out of all recognition... Bishop of Sainsbury, indeed.
All right. Calm down. Not a word, not a whisper.
There's nothing to whisper about it.
If you say so, AJ, mum's the word.
Interesting thing about the Bren gun, the life of the barrel under ordinary wear and tear is only about 8.
Oh, I still love them all, Mrs. Cartwright. They're my boys. Work, play, or screaming coals, it's all one to me.
Thank
I
you,
regard
Headmaster.
myself as a mother.
It's very kind of you to say so.
No. The 4 jolly sailormen struck me as being particularly jolly.
Biscuit, sir?
I think not, Mason.
Oh, I think you're right, sir. They're absolutely colossally awful, sir. Biscuits?
Oh, no, thank you.
Very nice to hear that, because I always work on the principle, you know, that when in loco parentis, which, of course, I find myself with your son Leonard and Mr. Atkins.
Ah, Mr. Halliday, excuse me one moment, Wentworth. I just wanted a word with you about your boy Donald.
Well, yes, we have been extremely lucky with the weather.
Indeed.
Oh, I don't think you know, Mr. Wentworth. Mrs. Hillman, A.J. I've told her all about you.
Very great pleasure, Mrs. Hillman.
So I believe.
I beg your pardon?
I believe you're quite a ladies' man, Mr. Wentworth.
Am I? Oh, no. I wouldn't say that.
Yes, I believe you are.
What makes you believe that?
I take impressions very quickly.
Really?
Oh, what a funny old gargoyle your headmaster is.
We're not alone.
It's hardly my fault, Mr. Wentworth. Nearly as funny as Lady Cleethorpes, don't you think? Peggy, darling! Just look at that wig.
I really think I ought to be circulating.
You know it costs her $1,000 a year to look like that, and she can afford it.
Well, no one can say that about you, Mrs. Hillman.
Meaning that I'm cheaply turned out. Here she comes, spiteful old cat.
Oh, Francis, and who's this you've captured?
Mr. Wentworth, Lady Cleethorpes.
Ah, yes. I've heard of Mr. Wentworth.
A very great pleasure.
He always says that, don't you?
Hmm?
Means it, too. Well, I shall leave you two alone together.
Oh, but
Did she tell you I wear a wig? She usually does.
Yes.
Of course I don't.
No.
I've been told you're a great disciplinarian, Mr. Wentworth.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say so.
I don't mean to be kind. Young boys at this age are extremely sensitive, vulnerable. The iron hand, perhaps. The velvet glove, certainly.
Ah, we see eye to eye. Lady Cleethorpes, at least as a general rule. But there are always exceptions to every rule. Oh, I think that boy over there. That boy, Mason. I don't think his parents are down today. Now, that boy is not only impudent and idle. He's also facetious and a congenital nincompoop. I supply the discipline that his parents are obviously too idle to care about.
Indeed, Mr. Wentworth.
Oh, yes, indeed. I've given that boy more lines than the Great Western Railway. I've kept him in so often that he's very seldom seen abroad. And to what effect? Very little, I'm afraid. One might as well try to teach trigonometry to a Hottentot. But I don't despair. I shall bend him to my will. Oh, yes.
Sir?
Yes, indeed. What are you doing?
Of a lemonade to have?
You must serve the ladies first, Cephalus. Remember, you're in England now. Ask Lady Cleethorpes.
She is where?
I don't know. Run along, boy.
For Mr. Wentworth?
Matron, I'm very glad to see you.
Oh, this is new. May I ask why?
Lady Cleethorpes, over there, talking to the headmaster. She's not a Burgrove parent, surely.
No, she's only the headmaster's favourite parent at the moment.
She is?
Or will be, when she's given of her bounty for the new swimming bath.
But I'm quite sure there's no Cleethorpes on the school list.
No, but there is a Mason. You should know that.
Mason?
Her first husband's name was Mason. She divorced him.
Wentworth? Wentworth?